Yu-Gi-Oh! An incredibly complex card game with tens of thousands of cards. However, what if each set was separated from the rest of the massive card pool and your choices when building a deck were extremely limited? In this series, in order to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! From the ground up, I will be embarking on an adventure through the history of the card game with Jeexx. In each episode, we will have access to all the cards in a select product, and using only the cards in that product, both of us will build a deck before playing a best of 3 match to determine the winner of the episode. We will move in a chronological order in the series, and with each new episode we will forget the cards of the past in order to experience something brand new. We hope you enjoyed this adventure through Yu-Gi-Oh! And its evolution with us. Welcome to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. Ladies and fellas, welcome back to another episode of the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey, and this time it's gonna be our very first structure deck episode. So we've done a few starter decks in the past, but this time the idea of a structure deck is essentially you buy a few copies of it and you have a completely functional deck with an actual like goal in mind, so to speak, or like maybe some play patterns. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how different these feel to the starter deck episodes. And if you watched last time, you know that Zombie Madness is what Jeexx is going to be piloting. I'm going to be piloting the Dragon's Roar one. So let's go through both of them and sort of see what they contain. So starting with Zombie Madness, both of these have pretty similar spell trap lineups. We'll cover those when we go over them, but let's start with the monsters. So the big payoff and the big boss monster of the Zombie Madness is Vampire Genesis. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must be spell summoned from your hand by banishing one Vampire Lord you control. So a specific name. And once per turn, you can discard a zombie monster in the graveyard and target a zombie monster in your grave with a level less than the discarded zombie monster and special summon it. And very importantly here, almost maybe more importantly, it's very big at 3000. Then you have Kyunshi, just a basic beater. Vampire Lord, which is another tribute summon. It's just a 2k 2k monster with the vampire effect. When it inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you declare a card type and the opponent has to discard that from their deck to the grave. And it reoccurs itself from the grave if it gets destroyed by an opponent's card effect. Darkness Spirit is, we've seen it before, it's the tribute spirit monster that destroys all face-up monsters on the field when it's normal summoned or flip face-up. Pyramid Turtle searches most of the stuff in the deck straight into the field, as we'll see in a little bit. Spirit Reaper, a battle immune small monster that discards your opponent's cards when it deals damage. Despair from the Dark I don't think will be relevant. Ryukaki has 2000 defense, which by the way Vampire Lord also is small enough to come on the field with Pyramid Turtle. Ryukaki is 2400 attack, and at the end of the damage, if it battled a warrior spellcaster monster, destroy the monster. Not relevant, but it is big. Soul Absorbing Bone Tower is immune to targeting by attacks when you control another zombie monster, and then whenever a zombie monster is special summoned, you melee your opponent's deck. Vampire Lady 1550, a zombie with just the basic old vampire effect. Double Custom is a double tribute for dark monsters, and Regenerating Mummy is an 1800 beater when it returns to hand if it gets discarded by your opponent's effect. So those are going to be the monsters. Then for the spell and trap lineup, these have a lot of overlap, but I'll just cover all of them briefly here. Most of these we've already seen, so I'll just mention their facts. Snatch Steal steals a monster with an equip, and then your opponent gains life points. MST just pops a card. Giant Trune clears all back row by returning the cards to the hand. Noble Crossout destroys and vanishes a face down monster, and if it's a flip, then both players banish all of their cards with that name from their decks. Pot of Greed also makes its return here. Card of Safe Return is one of the most powerful cards ever printed in Yu-Gi-Oh! Whenever a monster is special summoned from your graveyard, you can draw one card. It's not once per turn, it's not mandatory, it's just incredible. Heavy Storm destroys all spell traps on the field. Creature Swap does what it says in the name, swaps creatures from both sides of the field. Book of Life special summons a zombie from your graveyard and banishes a target from your opponents. Call of the Mummy special summons a zombie monster from your hand once per turn if you don't have any other monsters. Reload basically reshuffles your hand, but you go -1 because you have to use this. Dust Tornado, we also seen before, pops a spell trap, and then you can set a spell trap from your hand. Torrential, on monster summon pops the entire field of monsters. Magic Jammer, you can discard a card to negate the activation of a spell card. Reckless Greed, you draw 2 to skip your draw next to draw phases. And then Compulse, it just bounces a monster back to the hand. So very powerful spell trap lineup. The monster lineup is a lot weaker, but even here you have stuff like Spirit Trooper and obviously Turtle in the context of this. That's just amazing. Turtle can summon everything except for Genesis and Despair, but I doubt we're gonna see Despair. So that was the zombie deck, and then let's go to the Dragon's Roar structure deck. So the big payoff here, Red Eyes Darkness Dragon. You must tribute a Red Eyes Black Dragon to special summon this from your hand. It has the Red Eyes stat line, but it also gains 300 attack for each dragon monster in your graveyard. One of my favorite card arts ever in Yu-Gi-Oh! Then you obviously have Red Eyes Black Dragon to be able to summon that to the field, such a 24/2000 to tribute summon Beater. Luster Dragon, a 1900 beater. Twin-headed behemoth, it recurs itself once per duel. When it was destroyed on the field, it recurs itself from the grave with a 1000,000 stat line. Then we have the Armed Dragon lineup, Armed Dragon level 3 and a level 5. But because of our Red Green rule, we are also allowed to play level 7 since it is mentioned in level 5's text and we've already seen it. So this is the use, so it's really, I think it was the episode before last time where we had levels. Armed Dragon just, you can discard to pop monsters. Black Dragon's Chick is here to specifically summon Red Eyes Black Dragon without having to tribute for it. Element Dragon, probably not gonna see it since the zombie deck is all compiled of darks, so you don't really get help in getting these effects off there. And then Mass Dragon summons a dragon type monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck, which is a Black Dragon's Chick, level 3. I don't know if you would want Behemoth. Mostly it's going to be Black Dragon's Chick and Armored Dragon, a level 3. And maybe another Mass Dragon. Then I won't repeat the effects of the cards that also the Zombie Madness had. So we also have Snatch Steal here, also have MST, also have Nobleman. Then we have Premature Burial as additional graveyard recursion, where you pay 800 to target a monster in your grave and equip it with this. And then when this is destroyed, the monster is also destroyed. Sort of really Revealing Light makes its return from quite a while back. Basically, your opponent can't attack for 3 turns, and as you activate this, you get to reveal all of your opponent's face down monsters. Pot of Greed and Heavy Storm, Creature Swap, and Reload. Also here, Stamping Destruction, additional spell trap removal. If you control a dragon monster, you target a spell trap on the field, destroy it, and burn your opponent for 500. And then this one also has Graveyard in 4th Dimension, where you add 2 level monsters from a graveyard to a deck and shuffle it, since we are playing the Armed Dragon, or have the Armed Dragon line. This is therefore their support. As additional graveyard recursion, we also have Call of the Haunted, which basically a trap version of Premature Burial, but you don't have to pay 800 life points. Ceasefire. If a face-down defense position monster affect monster is on the field, you change all face-down defense position monster on the field to face up. It doesn't activate flips, and then your opponent takes 500 burn damage for all the effect monsters on the field. You discard a card for Dragon Speed. It's not going to be relevant. It's too specific. There's already so much like removal for spell traps, so I doubt we're gonna see that. Dragon's Rage, basically just your dragon monsters do piercing damage. Reckless Greed is also here. Interdimensional Matter Transporter basically possesses a monster for the turn. Trap Jammer only negates traps during the battle phase, which is weird that They had Magic Gemmer, but we didn't have 7 Tools of Bandit in the Dragon's Roar deck, which was kind of interesting. And finally, Curse of Anubis changed all effects monsters on the field to defense position, and those monsters' defenses become 0, and they can't be changed back. So the both of these decks have revolve quite a bit around the graveyard. You have a lot of stuff with looping the grave here with the zombie one, and here you have Premature and Call of the Haunted to recruit stuff, as well as have Darkness Dragon gain a boost from stuff in the grave. But overall, like, the zombie will definitely be the more controlly one, and then the Dragon's Rule will be the more aggressive deck. But it'll be very interesting to see how these actually structure decks perform. So yeah, it'll be definitely very interesting to see that. So that's been the set decks breakdown, I guess, but there's another deck to be built. So I will see you all in the deck building section next.
Okay, so Zombie Madness. It's like one of the, I think this is actually the first structure deck we were having, right? It's fairly well balanced, quote unquote. Like, it has Fodder Greed, it has Snatch Steal, it has Heavy Storm, it has Card of Safe Return. And of course, the zombie structure deck will obviously have Call of the Haunted, right, guys? And Premature Burial, right, guys? The zombie structure deck that is supposed to revolve around resurrecting your cards to then flood the field and gain card advantage using Card of Safe Return, or at least going 1-for-1 with card of Safe Return. It obviously makes sense for this deck to have these cards, right? It doesn't. It does, in fact, not have these cards. Wait, what the fuck is going on? Why do I have 42 cards in here? I don't even know. I legitimately don't know. I added something into here to make the gag work, but like, what the fuck? Yeah. I'm supposed to have 40 cards in. Never mind. Okay. Let's start with some of the reprints in here, like Dark Dust Spirit. Dark Dust Spirit is a card that we saw in, I don't remember what set it was anymore, but this card is fucking useless. Like, I legitimately don't understand why I'm thinking of playing it, considering that I have to Torrential Tribute, but for the most part, it's just a not really reusable or recursive card. Even I guess you can make the argument that it's capable of resurrecting Vampire Lord or literally any other zombie in the deck. And then Double Coston. Double Coston is a card that lets you sack it for 2 tributes. That's all it does. It's fucking worthless, and it's only here for the stat line. Then we have Pyramid Turtle, which is going to be the MVP of the deck. This card is going to make every single play happen. Pyramid Turtle has the effect of when this card is zeroed by balance in the graveyard, you can special summon 1 zombie monster with 2,000 or less defense from your deck, which is fairly okay. Like, if you, in the last time we had a chance to play this, we were playing Gravekeepers, which meant it was fucking useless in the zombie archetype, because you couldn't have used zombies against Gravekeepers anyhow, because Gravekeepers just drop Necro Valley and you fucking lose. But in this set, we have Vampire Lord and we have Ryukoki. And both of these cards can be special summoned using Pyramid Turtle, which effectively makes this card our fastest win con. Because nothing in the Dragon Structure deck can really deal with Vampire Lord or Ryukoki on turn 2. You'll just like run away with the game instantly. And then we have a Regenerating Mummy, which is a 1.8k beater, which is, that's about it. It doesn't really matter. Ryukoki is a 2.4k beater. Its effect is irrelevant because there are no warriors or spellcasters in this set. Then we have Spirit Reaper, which is going to be a tiny little wall that you can't destroy by attacking into it. And then it has an additional effect of it discards random cards from your opponent's hand if it deals battle damage, but that's never going to happen. And then there's also the effect of if this card is targeted by something on the field, it dies. It literally just kills itself. It's not a very good card against Armed Dragon. Then we have Vampire Genesis, which is going to be hopefully our massive beat stick that we get into at least once during the set. It has the Nomi effect, which is it cannot be normal summoned or set and must be special summoned using its own effect and cannot be special summoned from anywhere else using any effect. And then here it has the additional effect of you can discard 1 zombie monster to the graveyard, then target 1 zombie monster in your graveyard with a level less than the discarded zombie monsters and special summon that target. This effect sucks. This effect is legitimately one of the worst. Like, we just had the creator the other day, and the creator has like the same effect, but unlike fucking Vampire Genesis, it at least lets you summon any other monster from the graveyard other than the card that was discarded. So yeah. Then Vampire Lady and Vampire Lord, which both have the effect of when they deal battle damage, you declare a card type like monster, spell, or trap, and your opponent sends one of those card types to the graveyard. It's really simple. Vampire Lady is here mostly for the fact that we need more monsters, because we don't really have very good monsters outside of Vampire Lord and arguably Pyramid Turtle. And then we have Vampire Lord, which is very good. It has the effect of inflicting battle damage, you declare card type, your opponent sends card type to the graveyard. But then, once per turn, during your standby phase, after this card in your possession was destroyed by an opponent's card effect, opponent's card effect, you can special summon this card from the graveyard. So basically, if you get rid of this card using an effect, which is, for example, let's say my opponent is playing Torrential Tribute or some other similar card effect, I can just simply reanimate Vampire Lord. It's probably not gonna happen. Simply because the fact that I don't think the dragon deck has anything other than Armed Dragon that destroys with card effects, which is probably not going to happen. I don't think this card is going to be on the field if Armed Dragon hits the field. Then we have Book of Life. Book of Life is a zombie monster reborn with a stipulation of needing to banish an opponent's monster from their graveyard, which can be really good considering that when I was making that gag earlier, I was mostly referring to the fact that the Dragon Structure deck has both of those cards. The Dragon Structure deck has Premature Burial and Call the Haunted. So Book of Life will work effectively against those two cards. And that'll be probably the main usage of this card. I don't think it's actually going to be very relevant for special summoning anything, because most of these cards like a special summon kind of suck ass. But yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. I don't have Card of Safe Return in this deck. That's why. Yeah. So, Card of Safe Return is also in this structure deck. The issue is that since you only have two effects that technically reanimate anything, those being Vampire Lord's own effect and Book of Life, you really, and well, I guess Vampire Genesis, but you're never going to get to play that card because this card fucking sucks. But Card of Safe Return is completely worthless in this deck. If you were playing the Dragon Structure deck, you can make the argument that this card, this zombie-like themed card, is infinitely better in that deck. But yeah. Then we have Heavy Storm, which is also kind of a reason why I'm not playing Card of Safe Return. And that's because, well, it destroys all spell traps on the field. This card is going to be really relevant because we have cards like Snatch Steal, Premature Burial, and Call of the Haunted, along with other similar decent trap effects. Then we have MST. MST is, again, for the same reason as Heavy Storm, really, but more for more pinpoint removal, for example, Snatch Steal. Then we have Pog and Snatch Steal. We've seen these cards so many times by now, I don't think we need to talk about that. I think this is the second time we're seeing Compulsory. Compulsory Evacuation Device is a really powerful removal tool for basically anything, and it's also decent for protection too. Then we have Magic Jammer. Magic Jammer has the basic effect of negating a spell. There's so many reprints in this set that I don't think we need to cover them in too much detail. And then Torrential Tribute, and this card is the effect of when a monster is summoned, destroy all monsters of the field. This card is really powerful, and I think this can make or break the game. Because this can get rid of literally anything that Weebfox will have on his field, and it will get rid of my field as well. So yeah. Dark Death Spirit, a second copy of it. I don't really think this is going to get sided in, but if for some reason, for some godforsaken reason, I need to side into this, I'll side it in. And then 2 more double cost ons if I feel like I'm breaking too hard on stuff like Dark Death Spirit or Vampire Genesis. And then we have Ryukoki, a second lock. Again, if for some reason I want to have the same amount of tribute monsters, I can switch out Dark Death Spirit for that. Then we have a third copy of Book of Life, which is not going to be relevant because I don't think I'm going to have a situation where I'll ever want to have this card in my starting hand, because again, it's kind of shit in your starting hand. Then we have Creature Swap, which is a arguably really good form of removal because the fact that it allows you to trade a shit card, for example, Pyramid Turtle, and for a card like Armed Dragon. Because if Pyramid Turtle gets hit and goes to the graveyard, you when it goes to your graveyard, you get to special summon a zombie monster from your deck. So it's a really interesting interaction between those 2 cards. Then we have Giant Grenade, which I have 3 of in here because of the fact that if I feel like I need to not destroy all spell traps, but rather just like deal with them for 1 turn, adding this might be a good idea. Then you have third copy of Famous Thief. I feel like you need to remove more spell traps than I was thinking. And then Nobleman of Crosshead if it turns out that my opponent is setting a lot of Mask Dragons. Then a third copy of Magic Jammer. And that's really it. Like, there's nothing too interesting about this deck. The playstyle of this deck isn't really set in stone, and I feel like the Dragon Structure deck does what this deck is supposed to do, infinite limit. I'm kind of salty about the fact that Premature Burial and Call of the Hunted aren't in this, especially Call of the Hunted, since that card was originally like the introduction of the zombie type in the manga. So yeah, I'm slightly mad, but we'll see how this game goes. So good luck.
And welcome back, guys and gals. So here's what we're going to be playing today. And as I stated, I am going to be playing the Dragon's Roar starter deck. So as always, let's go through the deck and see what we hope to achieve with. So first and foremost, we are playing the Armed Dragon lineup. I am playing 3 level 3s and then 2 of 5 and 2 of 7. I am playing a third copy of 5 in the side as well. And the reason for this is I feel like from last time playing, was it Soul of the Duelist, the level 7's like field wipe didn't feel significant enough really, and most of the time you would be removing one monster anyway, so going through the effort of going to a level 7 isn't too insane either way, and neither of these can beat over Vampire Genesis anyway, and the only thing that level 5 can't beat over that level 7 can is Ryuk Hockey. It will trade instead. So I feel like most of the time level 5 will actually be fine, and a lot of the time even like I feel like we get to maybe pull level 5's effect off, and then maybe it gets dealt with a trap or something. So I just feel like I don't need the third copy of level 7. A level 3 is just here because we can go into it with Mass Dragon, and we obviously honestly could even just stall enough if the games get grindy enough, because both of us have so much good like removal, and we have sort of really Revealing Light as well as like good stall cards. So actually just turn 1 normal summoning this, popping a Swords is actually a viable strategy, I feel like. So yeah. Then for other stuff, we are playing 3 Black Dragons check with 2 Red Eyes, a Black Dragon. I feel like getting 2 tributes for Red Eyes is gonna be really hard. So Black Dragon's check is here basically just as something that we can set if we have nothing better to do. And maybe we can even normal summon it under Swords to maybe tribute it next turn if we happen to find our Red Eyes, or the Dream scenario, we obviously have both of these in our hands, so we can just normal BDC and then immediately tribute it to special a Red Eyes, a Black Dragon. I am playing a third copy here as well as a Red Eyes Darkness Dragon if I feel like going into this, but I just feel like this specifically needing a Red Eyes Black Dragon on the board is way too bricky, for me to consistently get to, but I wanted to still have it there as sort of a lifeline if we need it. Plus, I absolutely adore this card. It's one of the coolest arts in all of Yu-Gi-Oh, I think. Next, we have Twin-Headed Behemoth, just as a one-off. It's basically we get a free tribute, so we can even use it for something like Armed Dragon level 5, or we can, maybe if we have a way of getting to, we can use this as one of the tributes for Red Eyes Black Dragon as well, since it recurs itself, and it's just, it's pretty nice to just have recursion, so it can also just, in the worst case scenario, save us from one more attack. 3 Mass Dragon, since it fetches our level 3s and Black Dragon's chicks. It can also go for Twin-Headed Behemoth, but I don't know when I would ever go for that. And if all else is used, we can also just go for another Mass Dragon off of it. Then finally, we have 3 Luster Dragon. It's just a 1900 beater with no effects, but also no drawbacks. And that's for the spells. We are playing 2 Premature Burial. I do have 2 Call of the Haunted as well, and I have a 3rd Call of the Haunted here. I feel like why I'd rather play Call of the Haunted is because I can use it on my opponent's turn to maybe disrupt their attack, and I feel like Premature Burial and Call of the Haunted both needing something in the grave first, and us having no way of discarding cards to the grave apart from the leveled up armed dragons. Feels like it'll take a couple turns, so I don't want to see these like in my opening hand, but it's still like going to be really powerful to be able to recur something like armed dragon level 5 or 7, or even if we get a black dragon in rotation, maybe even that. So yeah, obviously a 3-pot of grid. It just we're playing a 37 card deck where the 3 draws also get us a 3+1. So why wouldn't we? 2 heavy storm. It's still very good. Obviously being able to wipe the field off from all spell traps, especially since it feels like the deck Jeexx is playing being the more control heavy. So I feel like I do want to be clearing back row. I am playing the 3rd copy here as well. But I also feel like us having stuff like Premature and Call of the Haunted, we're not playing too many traps, so that doesn't really matter, but we are still playing 2 Premature, 3 Snatch Steal, as well as 2 Soldiers for Healing Light. So we don't really want to be popping our own powerful spells and traps. So this is just here, like, maybe if Jeexx sets 3 back row in his first turn, we can just get rid of those. So, yeah. And as you'll see, we have a lot of removal for back row anyway. 3 Snatch Steal, essentially just exchange a spell card for your opponent's best thing permanently until they get rid of this, and all they gain for it is 1,000 life points. If I can't deal with something like Vampire Lord, or especially if Genesis hits the field, like Snatch Stealing those is going to be incredibly powerful. 3 MST, it's just a quick play spell that pops any spell trap on the field, so it's just very flexible, and especially in a format where both of us have Snatch Steal, powerful back row, I just feel like it's going to be insanely good. 2 Stamping Destruction, I have 1 more in the side as well, just to have all these spell trap removal, but this does mean that we need to have one of our monsters on the field. Obviously we can just normally summon a monster, but there might be a situation where we can't actually normal summon something to have this live, so that's why I'm only playing 2, plus, like I said, we have so much spell trap removal already. We're playing 2 sort of Revealing Light. We are probably going to be the more aggressive deck, but still this can help us get to Red Eyes Black Dragon. This can help level into Armed Dragons, and hell, if Jeexx has a lot of stuff that he wants to be setting, I think there's like Spirit Reaper and Turtle are the biggest ones, so not like that much. But if we can reveal something like Spirit Reaper, and then instead of wasting our attack on it, we can deal with it before our battle phase, that's also going to be nice, as well as just playing us the turns. Already covered Call of the Haunted, which we are, like I said, playing 3 of, given the side deck as well. We have 1 Dragon's Rage, where I have 1 more here. This is just if Jeexx is setting a lot of stuff. Like I said, stuff like Spirit Reaper cannot be removed by battle, but it only has 200 defense. So if we can just keep pounding him through the Spirit Reaper, we're still catching a lot of damage with stuff like Luster Dragon. So it'll be very powerful. Then we have Interdimensional Matter Transporter, where I am also playing a 2nd copy in the side. This is here just to protect our best thing, maybe help us get into some of our attributes, just maybe help us protect even something like Armed Dragon level 3. It's just a very flexible card, but obviously needs a monster that we want to protect on the field. As for the rest of the side deck, we're playing 2 Noble and a Crossout. This is just here if he's setting a lot of stuff. This is just a way to get rid of those sets. This is another way of for us to get rid of Spirit Reaper, because apart from the Armed Dragon effects, we don't really have a good way of getting rid of Spirit Reaper, since I wouldn't really want to spend a Snatch Steal to clear Spirit Reaper. So yeah, this is one of our better ways. That's also why I wanted to include Dragon's Rage already in the main deck, because Spirit Reaper is definitely going to be a difficult card to deal with. 2 Creature Swap, just because I feel like it's just a good card. We can just give him whatever monster we want and get rid of his best thing. But the more I thought about this, the more I figured we don't really have a lot of stuff we just straight up want to give him. Maybe if we can we don't have Red Eyes Black Dragon, we can normal Black Dragon Chick and change it for a Vampire Genesis. That would obviously be insane. But I feel like it's a little bit too niche to go in the main deck, so that's why we're citing it. Just 1 Curse of Anubis. Essentially, if like these games end up feeling like we're both like just building a lot of board and nothing happens, and we can establish stuff like Red House Black Dragon and Luster Dragon, since they are normal monsters, they don't get affected by Curse of Anubis. We can then use Curse of Anubis, and then with Dragon Rage just swing for insane damage in a single turn. And finally, to Trap Jammer, I don't know, like a lot of the traps in the Zombie Madness deck, I feel like Jeexx wouldn't want to save till battle phase to use anyway, especially knowing that my deck has access to Trap Jammer. So that's why I feel like it's very niche. And we, like as established already, we have so much spell trap removal anyway. So it's just there as the, I couldn't think of anything else that could maybe be better. So if he's playing a lot of like battle traps or traps that he wants to just hinder our battle phase with, that's there to deal with it. But yeah, I am actually pretty happy with the deck. I think obviously these structure decks are much more polished, and obviously having access to a lot of power cards. You can see how many banned cards here are. There's a lot of power in this deck, but it'll be interesting to see how this manages against the Zombie Madness deck, since I feel like if we have anything to learn from the past, from the start of the episode, like the control decks tend to be the more powerful ones. But it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But that'll be all for me, so hopefully you enjoyed the deck breakdowns, and I will see you all in the dueling zone. Ladies and lads, welcome to episode 17, I think, of the Historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning Journey, and it is time for another structure deck episode. Another? Wait, is this? This is our first structure deck episode, actually?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, okay. So yeah, in the past we've been doing starter decks, but this time we are playing decks that actually should have a somewhat cohesive strategy. So we'll see how it goes. And Jeexx is going to be piloting the zombie one, and I'm going to be piloting the dragon one. So we'll see how it goes. How do you feel about the structure decks?
I'm not very mad about it.
How long are we going to keep this up, huh?
What do you mean?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. I am hoping that my clean-shaven face is gonna give me a buff this time. Actually.
Oh, you're roaring to go. I see.
Yeah, I am roaring to get this over. Oh, we're not throwing rock this time, are we?
I'm sorry.
I am throwing rock.
Becoming a rock thrower. See.
Sometimes
is this what madness does to you?
Yes. This is absolutely, It is what it does to me.
I set one card on a pass.
Oh, that is a powerful play. Now the thing, the problem here is, if that's Spirit Reaper, it's like, okay, but how do I actually get through a Spirit Reaper?
You just target it with one effect. You snatch.
You'd think it's so easy. I'm gonna normal Luster. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's acceptable.
And let's swing at the Spirit Reaper.
Okay, I'm fine with losing my.
Oh, it is not a Spirit Reaper. That is terrifying.
To get a Vampire Lord out, and you're gonna snatch steal it next turn, right?
Yep. I am going to set one, and it was when this gets sent to by an effect. Yeah. Yeah, I think I will just set one and pass on that.
Okay, I go standby, main. I will. Now I'm thinking.
Turn to Genesis?
I fucking wish. Okay, you don't have Torrential Tribute. Ah, yes.
Yeah, this deck doesn't have it. I'm the aggressive deck. You have the control stuff.
I summon Regenerating Mummy. Is this okay?
It's from your hand. All right. It's an 18-gate beater. Yeah, that is acceptable.
And then I will activate Snatch Steal.
Yep. That is yours.
And then I will attack with Regenerating Mummy.
38. That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Yep, I will take the 18.
Then 1.9k.
I will MST the
Okay. That's
snatch.
okay.
I'm not happy about it, but I think taking like 47 or something.
And I attack with...
Yeah, it'll go the grave, and I will take a 100.
I call... let's see what we get to call here. I'm gonna call spell.
Right? So it's just, I just pick and send something. Yeah.
Yeah, any spell.
I will pitch. What do I not really care about? I think I will
Send a pog.
Pitch. I don't think I will. I think I'll pitch this Stamping Destruction.
Ah, yes. Spell trap removal is very strong in this one. I set 1 card and I pass.
Seems good. Draw standby main. It's interesting, I guess. But is it interesting enough?
Poach him.
I wonder. I will set a monster.
Yes.
And I will ponder.
Pondering. Poach him.
Yeah, I think I will just pass on that.
I go standby, I go main, I activate Book of Life.
Yep.
Special summon my Pyramid Turtle.
I only
and
have one thing to
Vanishing.
banish.
Yeah, and then I will normal summon Regenerating Mummy. And I will bounce your face down.
Yep, and that'll be plenty enough damage.
Yep.
Well, that was swift.
That was fairly fast, yes.
Yeah, let's go game 2. Yeah. I hope I'm not falling too much into just result-based thinking in my setting, but we'll see how this works out for me.
Oh no.
Good luck. Well, that's fucking... God damn it. Okay, I will set and I will... remind me, that deck also had Heavy Storm, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You want to set 4 real quick?
I think I'll actually just set the monster and pass.
I'll go standby main.
It paid off for you last time, so.
Set 1 card.
Oh, lovely. We are playing the video game here.
Back at it again. At Krispy Kreme.
What would you...
This deck has a lot of sets.
Yeah, because like, I think you want to set most of your stuff.
Other than like Regenerating Mummy, which is here specifically because it's a 1.8k beater, which makes it a beat stick that can be used for something. It loses to Luster Dragon, which sucks ass, because again, like, everything is worse than Luster Dragon and like Gemini Elf and Insect Deck set. So
I actually... Yeah, sorry. I cut you off.
No, don't worry. I also have Vampire Lady, which is another card I want to set, and Pyramid Turtle and Spirit Reaper. Those are the 3 that I actually have that I want to set.
Yeah, I actually think I will just Nobleman the set.
GG. I think that's GG.
And then I will tribute my Black Dragon's chick for a Armed Dragon level 5.
I think that might be GG.
24.
Yeah.
And good luck.
Yeah.
I will just go battle phase and swing over.
Yep.
Main 2, I will set and end phase. Let's do the Armed Dragon shenanigans. Let's get a level 7. And your turn.
I set 1 card and I pass. By the way, I have less monsters in my deck.
I was
than
just
any
gonna
other
say,
card
like,
type.
I would be very surprised if your deck actually runs that many, you know,
Does not.
monsters.
Does not run that many monsters. It's got like 16 monsters.
Call it a haunted, targeting my level 5.
Is this gonna be another Arm Dragon level 7?
There's nothing that would be so big, yeah. Swing over this. 28. Let's go main 2. Let's go end phase and no effect.
Oh fucking hell. Fucking absolutely.
Ooh,
Oh my
there's
god.
the pot of greed.
Oh my god. I'm gonna activate Heavy Storm.
Yep. This one is gone and this one's gone.
And then I will activate
Don't snatch steal my arm
I'm
dragon.
gonna snatch steal your Arm Dragon level 7.
Oh, that's fuck.
Then I will normal summon Regenerating Mummy, and I will attack with Regenerating Mummy first.
Yep, 18.
Then I will attack with Arm Dragon level 7.
Wait.
Gorse.
Jesus Christ.
And then I will set a card, and I will pass.
That is terrifying. But I will gain 8,000 from Snatch. Oh. Well,
Another snatch them.
do you have a magic jammer?
I will activate Compulsory Evacuation Device.
All right.
Bouncing Arm Dragon back to your hand.
Seems good. Snatch steal is gone. I still think that we're good because I actually have this thing and then I'll normal this.
Skill issue, clearly.
All right. We got the game 3. It feels really hard here to catch up once your opponent gets going. I will say, like, my
Yeah.
opening hand was pretty good. Although if you cleared my set, then I was toast, but yeah.
Well, I could have cleared the set, but I didn't think it was Call of the Haunted because I completely forgot that the dragon structure deck had Call of the Haunted, you know? That makes perfect sense, right?
I
For the
mean,
dragon structure deck to have the zombie part from the manga.
you have, Book of Life, so,
You have Premature Burial
yes.
and Call of the Haunted.
Yes. You
What
have
the fuck?
Torrential, so I need stuff to get out of my grave,
But like, this is a zombie deck.
Don't, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
This is a zombie deck. What the fuck?
But yeah, I actually think I'm done with just that, so. But yeah, I will pause this. Let's do game 3. Yep.
Going
Game
in.
3 time, baby. This is a fast format.
I will go
Shit.
set and pass.
Well, swords.
Okay, it's Vampire Lady.
It is lady. This is so stupid. It's so stupid. It's kind of dumb. I'm
Snatch steal it, going to attack.
I'm going normal level 3.
Yeah.
And I will set and I will set. And you wouldn't heavy storm and defenseless man, would you?
I have to admit that I would not. This thing. Yeah, it's only for not now, not yet. But yeah, that's only for
Oh wait,
monsters
it's
that
your.
are on the
I
field
always
when you do-
forget it's your opponents.
Yeah.
I'm going for world first. Arm Dragon level 3, proccing its own effect.
I'm gonna do that and pass.
Alright, I will put a counter on swords. I will start my turn and I will draw standby. I would like to... Bro, The back row is.
What are you afraid of? You got a sword's revealing light. You don't need to be afraid.
I'm afraid
of
of the back row. I will MST it.
I'm gonna bounce your arm dragon level 3 to your hand.
It goes to my hand.
Eat shit.
I will actually. I'll just keep it there. I'll use my normal summon on it. I will get this off.
Okay.
And I will set another card in the back row, and I will just pass. I will proc the effect.
I will.
Personally, I think swords should constantly show me all of your sets.
I agree. I disagree.
Just me personally, though.
You know, I think it's safer if I just flip this into attack.
Mm-hmm.
I legitimately think it's safer if it's just an attack.
I mean,
yeah. Then you can get nobleman.
I can nobleman it then. It's like, what do I have to deal with? I have...
You can use compulsory on it, but it's just like...
this deck does not have a compulsory.
Oh, it does not have it.
Yeah.
Then I just pass.
At least, like, you take the damage, but oh yeah. Turn 2 on swords. I would like to attempt to do this again.
Go for it.
Let's get this one going. The question is, do I want to deal... Oh, wait. I mean, I can deal with it with the effect of level 7, but that kind of...
But you can already...
Or level 5.
You could wait until you hit level 7 and then just deal with them in general, right?
Yeah, I'm just...
Do you want to go -1?
That is what I'm considering here. I will have one more turn of swords. I do think there's only compulsory, yeah, and I have yeah, I think because Vampire Lord is 2k. Genesis. Yeah, no, I think I will rather just deal with the Vampire Lady and get level 7 going. I will go main 2. I will go end phase, and I would like to activate the effect. Hey, we went through the whole cycle with the...
Yeah, it's impressive.
With its actual effect. That's crazy. And
I'm
yeah.
gonna have to point out, because I kind of didn't even think about this myself, but that thing says destroy all monsters, therefore it's not targeting.
Yeah, but it's Spirit Reaper is only battle immune.
Yeah, but oh wait, true. I thought it was just generally removed.
Yeah. It can be still removed with just AoE removal. Luckily, if that wasn't the case, then I would have probably just popped it with 5. But yeah, Spirit Reaper would be nasty if it was also like it can't be destroyed by other effects than targeting. That would be kind of nuts.
I'll just set one card.
Yeah.
And pass.
Alright. And swords is gone. Stand by main. What would your other set be?
It's all illusion.
True. I mean, I don't think I'll get many better targets. I'll just Call of the Haunted I'll drag a level 5 again. This is just like the last time. Does this make the most sense? I think it does. Does it though? I wonder. I'll normal masked dragon.
Yeah.
Now this is where it's interesting, because it's like, if it's turtle,
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, nothing, like I can swing over everything with level 7. I'm just considering, do I literally just want to push for damage? And I actually think I do. So I will actually activate level 7's effect. I'll pitch Black Dragon's Chick to pop the Reaper.
Yep.
Now let's go battle phase. I will swing over it with level 5. Then I'll do 14 and 28. Main 2, and yeah, let's just go end phase, and once again, no effects. You remember how I said, like, please never draw torrential?
This has been in my hand the entire time, but I haven't been able to use it simply because of the fact that I'm afraid of your back row. And I haven't been able to draw one of my 5 spell trap removals.
Now, completely, you know...
Because it's MST, that's why I haven't used them.
I don't have MST, but I think this works, right?
Does indeed work, yes.
Yeah. So level 7 is gone until end. Yeah. In the end, it was regenerating stuff, and that's it. But yeah.
Like, it's so bullshit. The Dragon's Roar has literally more ways of regenerating cards than the zombie deck. It's fucking insane.
I am a big fan of you drawing just monsters, I will say.
I drew 1 pot of greed, and with that 1 pot of greed, last game, I literally turned the game around, and then I didn't turn the game around because just had a card to fucking double my board.
Yes, sir. It's kind of funny how both the games that I won, I basically, like, it was the exact same shit that I just did.
It's almost like having graveyard recursion is a good thing. It's almost like the zombie deck should have graveyard recursion, right? Well, it's almost like supposed to be in undead and not just fucking worthless.
What do you mean? You have recursion in Book of Life.
Okay, so Book of Life is a normal spell. It requires 2 cards, in 1 in each graveyard.
Yes.
And it doesn't do shit. Because I can't use it as a combat trick. I can't use it as a surprise. It's the only thing that has going for it is that it can't be destroyed while activating. And
because it's a normal spell and I have a Call by the Grave, it's essentially even like, even if you try to use it, I can just call by stuff from out of there, or I can just call them prematurely, so you have no fuel there. Yeah,
like, I don't...
Go ahead.
I don't understand what the fuck they were thinking here.
But yeah, my... the only things that I cited was literally like, I was initially... Compared to this, I was running 2 level 7s. I sided out of 1, and I was running 2 Red Eyes Black Dragon, and I sided out of 1 of them, and I put 2 Noblemen instead of those 2, and that's it.
I have a situation in the first 2 games where I had Heavy Storm in my hand in both games, and the Heavy Storm was useless. But in the 3rd game, where it would have been useful, I did not draw a single spell trap removal card.
Yeah. And I most definitely did not play. I was basically just like, all right, I'm just going to put all this shit here. If he Heavy Storms me, he Heavy Storms me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I did ask kindly to not see a single torrential, and we didn't.
Did we see anything in this deck that was... we saw a Snatch Steal and we saw a Pot of Greed.
Yes.
These were the only 2 cards in the deck that I'd say are powerful. Other than that, there was nothing else in here.
I think Compulse in this set's context is pretty good because of the Armed Dragon stuff, but I would have put it in the same category as those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was an episode, I guess. But yeah, thank you for...
Very anticlimactic.
That definitely was. But I mean, it's the first structure that they were very cookie cutter, and it's like, okay, the strategies they have in them were kind of like, yeah, they exist, but mostly it's just like, okay, we have a lot of just really good back row, and essentially like whoever gets to establish a board first with that insane back row just wins. And that's basically how all of the, I mean, game one you got a pretty good board, but a part of it also was because of.
But that was going into Vampire Lord from one Pyramid Turtle, and then just me having a better and faster hand.
Yeah, I guess that also contributed. That my hand was bad, so yeah. But I mean,
and
that's
on the turn that I won, I had a combat trick.
Yeah,
Let me just remove your card on the field.
Yeah, but I mean, that's Yu-Gi-Oh sometimes. But yeah, thank you for watching. Next time we'll be back with Flaming Eternity, which we'll see. I was briefly looking over the set and thought that it was absolute dog shit, but Jeexx was inspected a little more closely, and I guess maybe there's actually some semblance of a deck in there that we just have to find. So hopefully those will be. I mean, I don't mind the like super. I don't mind faster games, but like these were definitely like really fast. But yeah,
these reminded me of the Jinzo set.
Yeah, essentially, yeah, because it's like it was just so hard to come back from a beating. So, but that's how you guys sometimes. But yeah. Thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Peace.